Okay, so we looked at looping through lists. We're going to do a bit more of that. We did it with some integers and doing some maths, trying to add up all the whole numbers in a list. We did it for experience points. So now we're going to have a look at a list of strings, and we're going to use a system to try and search for something in our list. So often you'll do this whenever we use a search function a lot on computers. We use it in Google search engines. But you can see it even at the top of this REPL. There is a search function here as well. So you're going to learn how to create your own search function for a list. All right? And this is a common practice used in code behind many, many pieces of software, websites, to search for stuff. Okay? So what do? We dive in. We go to a new REPL, get a Python file. We're going to put in here, we call it search. I can't spell again, search list. All right. So what we're going to do, we'll create a list of items. We'll think about the backpack again in our adventure game. I think that's a kind of good start for us. So let's try and create another backpack. And in here we will have, we'll have the usual sword, and we will have, shield, and we will have, well, let's have a donkey. Okay, I've stuck a donkey in there for some bizarre reason. We'll have a torch. We'll have a magic potion. And then finally, we will have a wand. Okay, so got this list here. And what I want to do is have a way in my game of searching to see if an item is actually in my backpack or not. Okay, because I might want that in case if I was playing a game and the game asked me, what would you like to do in a certain situation? Would you like to use, your magic potion? And I would go like, yes. The computer program would need to know whether I actually have that magic potion. You'd need to search in my backpack, check that I have it. If I haven't got it, it'll go, no, you're not doing that. And if I have, then it goes, yeah, sure, you go and use it, and perhaps you might be able to beat some creature in your game. I don't know. Anyway, right, so I've got my list. How do I search it then? So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to create a variable that I'm going to call found, and this is going to be a Boolean, all right? And to start off with, found will be equal to false, okay? And what we will do is we're going to use a for loop to search through our list. And if it finds something we're looking for in there, this variable found will become true. And then we're going to use that value to give a response in our game. All right, just watch. Okay, so found equals false. All right, so let's pretend we could have a bit of interaction with some text on the screen. But anyway, we need to check to see if there is a wand in my backpack. Okay, so how do we do that? So we're going to go for, okay, and we'll use count, again, as our variable in our for loop, in range, all right, and as I said before, we're going to use len, okay, so in the previous lesson you saw me use len, and then the name of a list inside some brackets, that will find the length of our backpack. So what this means is this loop will repeat, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, all right? And if I have more things in my backpack, it would repeat, however many times there was something in my backpack, all right? So what we want it to do, okay, is to, each time, okay, we want it to check to see if there is a wand in there, all right? So we're going to have an if statement, all right? And if my backpack, and then I'm going to put in here count. So if backpack count, all right, and then we do equals equals. So if the first index, all right, in my backpack, that's sword at the moment, well, if that equals wand, all right, don't forget the colons like that, we're going to set the value of found now, okay, will equal true, all right? So what this does, okay, it's going to loop, all right, through this list, and the first time, if backpack count, that will be the first index, because that's count equals 0 the first time. So backpack 0, okay? If this 0 index contains the word wand, if it equals wand, found will equal true. All right? Now, that's all we need to put in there, okay? What it will do, well, the first time, does that equal wand? No. Okay, nothing changes, all right? But it repeats the question again, so it will go around again, okay? But this time count is equal to 1, so it's going to look at index 1, all right, for backpack, and it will say, well, does that equal wand? No, it doesn't, so the value of found does not change. And it will keep going through the next one, and the next one, because the value of count goes up by 1 each time. Now, eventually, when it gets to the last index, that does equal wand, so found will change to true. Now what we can have underneath here, outside of this loop, okay, so it's in line with this line here, and we can say, well, if, okay, found is equal, because it's a condition, we're checking something. If found is equal to true, we want it to say on the screen, print, well done, you have a wand. Okay. Well, else, okay, well, we can do an else here because if found is equal to true, okay, but if it's not true, then it must be false. We could do if found equals false, we could do that, but there's no need, it can only be true or false. So I'm actually going to go else, and in here I'll print you don't have a wand. Okay, so let's see, hopefully this should run. Move this back over a bit like this. Let's run this, and hopefully, because we do have okay, yeah, look, syntax error. All right, see that little arrow points up there. You can see I missed. Now you probably noticed that when I was typing this all out. Let's run that again. Okay, well done, you have a wand. All right, well, let's remove it. Okay, before we run this loop here, okay, up here. So, yeah, let's do backpack, all right, and then remove, and then I'm going to take out my wand. Okay, we've seen how we've done this before. So, backpack contains that, okay, backpack remove, wand, okay, we've taken it out of our list. So this now, it loops all the way through. It should go all the way through and find that wand does not exist, so found will not change to true, in which case if found is not found is equal to true, it would do this, else, okay, it's going to do this. Let's run it. You don't have a wand, all right, amazing. Let's just add it back in again, backpack.append, I can't do this. Append, and let's add it back in again, okay. So now we're going to append and put it back in, come at the end, run, you, where append, why has that not worked? Oh, because I've not written that. Again, you've probably spotted this way before me. Well done, you have a wand. Okay, so I removed it and added it back again. Once again, this is working. So I would like you to use this technique, okay, let's just remove that there, all right, of using a for loop, okay, going iterating, we call it, to iterate is to repeat, all right, so we're going to use a for loop to iterate through this list, and if the backpack, okay, every time, remember, count will go up by 1, we call that increment, okay, it goes up by 1, starts off 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to the number of times, okay, the length of the backpack is, all right. And if any of these indexes contain the word wand, found will equal true. Starts off as false. And if found is equal to true, we have that happen. Otherwise, you don't have one. Okay, so test this out. It can be a list of items in a backpack in a game. It could be, you know, think of Fortnite. You could have all your different weapons that you have in Fortnite. It could be a list of students, and we're trying to find out if a student exists. You know, like I say, searching and doing this search technique, okay, it's a really clever thing, and you see it all the time in computer software and in computer games when you're trying to search for something, right? And it just uses exactly these principles you're learning now, all right? So, good luck. practice this, and your final task will be next session. We'll just start putting all this together and see if you can actually make an adventure game. Okay, bye.